Thank you, Program Director, the President of South Africa, the Chairperson of IEC, the CEO, and the leaders of the political parties, and the confidants of Ecoforum all over South Africa. Hallelujah! Let me first thank God. Our singularly becoming the exemplary example of the order of the nation. We would like to partner with all South Africans who are the real government to the emergence of the national unity government. When order marries order in the place of order, it shall surely produce order. We need order at the highest office, which is the parliament, for calm at schools over our women and children, and an inclusive secular economy. Ecoforum alludes divine order to the code of conduct of IEC, and Ecoforum is a solution for energy manipulation in South Africa. Hallelujah!
Thank you very much, sir. May I please...
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so very much coming through to the invitation of our press conference. And it's an honor and a privilege just to be here so that we can run this program tonight. In everything that we do, that is preparatory, especially when you know that you are working from the grounds, and moreover working in the outside of popularism. So you try to make, by all means, that the people that are actually moving with us have an understanding of what is before us. So thank you so very much for coming through. I want to welcome you all as we'll be taking on in regard to the press conference of National General Election 2024, and having to trust that we are going to moreover continue to partner with South Africans, and moreover those that are in Azania and them that are in the diaspora. We have a great load of work that is before us, and as I speak my heart before you, that requires our total attention and moreover commitment to the cause. One, to understand we are in a season of festivity, we are in a season of Thanksgiving, and I believe that much of us and most of us are with our families and celebrating, especially yesterday we celebrated quite a day that we all come together, independent of whether you are a non-Christian or a Christian. So we are really thankful for all, many great things that have been happening in our country and all over the country. And I want to say before I continue that thanksgiving to him, God, and thanksgiving for him giving out to us a son. John 3:16 speaks it very clearly, that for God so loved the world, for God so loved the world. For God so loved the world, he loved the government, he loved the economy, and today when you speak about his love over a government, and especially in a political spectrum, you are demised, and most of the people that are uphold are popularists and people with much of rhetoric appealing and political meaning or delinquency and fallacy, and they are being regarded to be political because of they have muchly they are running a program that is secular, that which seeketh to demote, and they are depicting, and moreover they are demising, if I can put it that way, God, who is the creator. So I want to just to appreciate God for giving up his son, and to those who are there celebrating and with celebrative moods, and we come and we salute you and continue in thanksgiving. And even those that are non-Christians, we still are standing to say thank you, so all of you, for that festivity, And some of you are in holidays, and we can say happy holidays to all of you that are out there. And but moreover, we say we thank God for his son. We thank God for he was born king, and that is muchly for us particular. There's no politics without us really putting him before, because he's the first governor that can muchly or moreover speak and stand on behalf of the people. Now, salutations are in order. Salutations are in order to the Almighty God, the creator of the universe, whom has blessed Azania, our Inkosi Sikelele African nation. Salutations are in order to the confidence leadership of the government of Ecoforum. And salutations are in order to the youth president confidant, Donakolu Kosi Siabe, for the great work that is done in our previous program of the local government elections 2021. Salutations are in order to all confidants all over Azania, and even those that are in the diaspora. Salutations are in order to the confidant councillors, candidates, for their participation and the great work done on our previous program of the local government elections 2021. Salutations are in order to all our forgotten heroes and heroines, the liberation movement in Africa, particularly South Africa, the MK veterans, and all the MK members. We cannot forget the great work that has been done. Them supposed to become, moreover, they were to enforce the force of this nation. Unfortunately, because of unseen forces, they were not able. We salute them, the great work that is done. Salutations are in order to all our elders who are demised and segregated from the economies of this nation. Salutations are in order to all the people who are abled differently, the mute, the lame, the wheeled, the blind. I salute you. You equally deserve your economy to be opened. Salutations are in order to all the talented, creative, professional, and militant feast must fall, innovative technocrats. I salute all the young blood throughout South Africa and throughout Azania in a proper declaration of our time. As a movement in cognizance of its eldership, I hereby, through empathy and respect, pay tribute to the Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, who passed away. The date dated today, the 26th of December, 2021. A journey of a man is conveyed and moreover validated as a coin through tails and heads. As we celebrate his life, others are remembering both his great input on the liberation of Azania, and others remembers the amiss of the TRC verdict. But all bittersweet analogies about this, our elder, Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, remains a great icon of freedoms and liberties on human rights. A man in his last years on earth chose the truth than popularity by rebuking the governing party and its top leadership. We salute you, Archbishop, for the work you have done. Salutations are in order. The government of Ecoforum has taken a resolution to discard sad and barbaric political delinquency and fallacy, and we infuse the great news pertaining development for the people of South Africa, who are the real government. The adoption of the Growth Plan of Action, which we call in its acronym the GPA2100, as a centenary document, a white paper guiding our narratives, our intentions, and our mission and our vision, is to reconcile South Africans and its wealth and economy, its health and education, and a national unity government. The GPA 2100 is dedicated to all South Africans in Azania, our elders for post-employment benefits, our youth for youth economy and employability, to the royal houses for land and culture, to the church for spirituality, faith, and leadership, and governance, to people who are abled differently for inclusive economy, and to localization. The Growth Plan of Action 2100 is now opening up for each and every national or local occasion of contestation in our elections from the 2019 elections, when it was moreover launched. Then we took resolution for the GPA 2021 as we came aboard the local government elections 21, where we saw, moreover, I would say, a breakthrough coming in the government. And we are thankful for a little that is granted, because we believe that, moreover, as we are building our ground force and actually bringing awakeness and moreover enlightenment and understanding that the people that we are standing for in their numbers, who are the silent majority in this country, they will have to now get to understand and know the importance of taking charge and moreover taking positions. In the National General Elections 2019, we have experienced kind of a rigid and moreover, I would say, resilience, and we have seen much of a misinformed community that knew not what's happening on the ground in terms of the political spectrum. And ours was to present and moreover lay an altar, which we did, and I believe that with its results of 0.04%, that actually gave us a stance in South Africa as a government of Ecoforum nationally to remain in faith and moreover with a good faith, and in order to execute the mandate of godly governance, and make an assurance that we stand to the end of time, that we actually become part of the administration for leadership purposes and decisioning, and so that we can be able to bring peace and prosperity in our community as it's actually now required. And in our local government election results of a seat located in Northwest in Moretele, we then muchly were ecstatic and excited, because the excitement was not just a result. It was just a breaking in and moreover being able to come in the government, whether it's at a local level or whether it could be a tint of an opportunity where we can moreover expedient our expertise and moreover our growth plan of action towards development, where we put our people to be first, for they are the true government that needs to be respected, and in which in the current administration is not the case. When we look at the result, we then begin to now enforce and reinforce ourselves. And one of the things that we reckon is the introduction of the independence, which was introduced by our brothers. And I was one of those that were actually now moreover approached in a couple of times in order to see to it whether the independence would be much of the move that will break in the system that we are all encountering, especially in the IEC or any other. But now, as we all know, that anything under the sun that has been given an opportunity to present itself, it will muchly be given time, and time and history shall definitely tell the story. And we saw many of our pastors and meaning bishops and many of them. Some of them we have approached prior in the 2016s and 2019s, and some of them, they actually defied the call. Most of them, when we came on board, we were demonized and we were called fallen. We were actually called like sinners, that we are seeking power rather than seeking the pulpit and the church. And we saw an uprise because of the amid pandemic, where the Church of God came on board and pastors converged. And that to us as we are forerunning, it was moreover again joy in our hearts that there is an awakening, and moreover, brethren are coming out in order and moreover to stand and take their rightful position. Because we understand that the cause is not an individual cause. The cause that we are all in is a national unity cause that calls for a united front, and it calls for a government of national unity, where all of us will arise like the four riverheads, and we therefore will meet in the parliamentary post and be able to execute the mandate of God in taking siege, and moreover, in making sure that in our country there is peace and prosperity and stability, which is one of the things that we need to also look at as a government. Now, the 2021 local government elections produced many who came about, and some of them realized the hardship that we are facing, especially on the political spectrum, pertaining the illicitness that is actually there in terms of how the system runs, the theft that actually now undertakes that which, moreover, when the so-called small parties will arise and talk about, they will be found wandering and they will be given names of some sort. But the government of Ecoforum is standing once more, and we are thankful to each and every South African that saw it worth that we can lead. We can lead in Northwest, in Moretele, and lead those hundreds of people, and moreover showcase our expertise in how we would want to see our regions, our provinces, and also at the national level, the leadership and the governance that needs to be adhered in our country. Now, we are committed 365 days to serve the people where we are located, and make an assurance that we definitely now become the voice that in the next 5 years, changes and development, moreover, must become the order of the local government elections, even in the next coming election, which will be executed by the government of Ecoforum. Now, confidence, me hereby to present to us the Growth Plan of Action 2024, the Growth Plan of Action 2026. The GPA 2024 alludes localization. Localization, we are speaking moreover the restoration and the restitution of what has been taken from the local men and women. Some of the things that are taken even to date are not yet been given. There are men and women that came and went. Some of our great political icons that came and they went. And to date, under our meaning political and economic plan, we have not yet enjoyed, moreover, the benefit of the blood, sweat, comradeship that has been moreover executed by our elders and the forebears. And the problem being, South Africa has not been localized. The problem is the nationalization that has been moreover. It's been ran out and been put out there for people to realize the call of a nation. It's important to realize that nationalization does not make any good for the people of the Republic, but it only enriches those, the government and those who are able to reach out to the wealth of this nation. Now we say, now we allude localization, for we believe that localization is the new order in how politics will be run in this nation. So when you localize, we are bringing down, moreover, the wealth of this nation to the people, the economy to the people. And one of the things that I want us to talk about of importance is land. When we started talking land as the government of Ecoforum, many people who were critical, they were muchly looking at the howlers and the talkers and the populists, and they were not looking at the truth of the matter, because we had to look at the truth of the matter. And moreover, as we deal with land restitution and diplomacy, we had to look at the fact that most of the meaning laws in however the acts that are actually now in place, which are enforced by the rule of law, they were moreover concocted even prior 1994 in order to make an assurance that someone is taking guard of that which they see that they might lose, as when liberation now penetrates and comes into our shores. And some of the things that we did, we went back to the Land Act 1913 and we came to 1970, 71 of agriculture. And we realized that now, even all of those were muchly also repealed, because the past regime had to prepare themselves for what is come, and even moreover to make sure that even in times and in also terms of the meaning CODESA procession, no one will be able to tamper in thus, because now it has been made part of what of our constitution that has been hailed by the whole meaning entire world, which it has actually been concocted and moreover being put in such a way in order to put the people of South Africa in an economic slavery for as long as it could be, and to be landless for as long as they can. And to our amuse and moreover and amiss that has been done, because the current president, who is The President of South Africa has the DNA of this constitution. And with all the cadreship and all our icons who were there part of, and now we know and understand that no one wants to touch CODESA. But we come out to say the amis of CODESA, it is the result of what the past regime has done. It might not be the amis by our cadres. But the problem is when we are given the power and we are not able to use it politically in order to enforce the economic plan. Now we realize that the land issue cannot be expropriated without compensation. And the reasons are South Africa as a democratic state depends on its democratic processes, which are being led moreover by our constitutionality, which there is the rule of law. And anybody who challenges the rule of law might be found delinquent and moreover be named. And forgetting that moreover the same constitution, it is a concoction and moreover being put together, laws that are being put by men. And they also stand to be challenged. And the government of Ecoforum is standing out to say now the challenge must begin with the constitution of the nation. We need to start talks as a nation in regard to the reformation of our constitution. Now we understand that there are great things in the very constitution that really speaks for the freedoms and the liberties of the people of this nation. But there are more things that are moreover utilized in operation in putting the local men and the local men and women into a compelling situation. The government of Ecoforum would like to challenge the constitutionality of the constitution of this nation. Now we are asking for your partnership as the local men and women to get to understand. Even though there are people that you believe more than even this government, but we are saying we need to be given an opportunity to deal with that matter in order to be able to showcase that there are gaps and there are so many other things that are in the very constitution that which will not permit democracy at its level, will not even furthermore permit any kind of move, and will keep this country under a kleptocracy, and which is now sailing to a dictatorship, which is autocracy, and which we all are going to now experience through militants, meaning a kind of political drive that has come into our nation. But the reason we are actually presenting this to us is to muchly look at the bigger picture, that all political parties, even those that are in the parliament, they've been dealing with something just by on top. But the crux of the matter is the constitution. The problem we have is the law that has been put on there, which I even repeat that the president of this country has his own DNA and with other cadres on it. And they could not do a thing because the regime, did it well to make sure that now as we are purporting and putting together our new constitution, they also will be part of it and make an assurance that some of the property laws that were actually now, moreover, I would say, assented by their previous, apartheid president, will be enforced in a new democracy. Now, when you are coming into a new season, for example, I'm going to give you this as more as an analogy. You cannot come and enter a new season with an old mentality. For example, you can't put an old wine in a new wine skin. Now, the book of life will tell you that if you put that old wine in a new wineskin, in a new wineskin, you might spoil the skin, or even further, you could actually spoil the two. So you might lose the wine and also lose the skin. So now that is what we have seen happening in our country. We have poured an old wine skin, an old wine in an old wine skin. That's why the problems we are dealing with today are not the problems of today. We are still dealing with the problems of the apartheid regime. We did not deal with matters as they were supposed to be dealt with. The case of the TRC commission, the commission itself, we did not deal with matters as they were supposed to be dealt with accordingly, so that there could be forgiveness in the nation and so that there could be moreover progression. And we actually taken things and put them under the carpet and expected Africans, or moreover black and Africans, even white, to move on. And that is not how you do things. We were supposed, as much as we are trying to portray to the nations of the world, to be a nation of order, a nation that loves incorruptibility. We were supposed to become the exemplary example of what we want to preach out there. And also, we were supposed to actually, as we are coming to a dispensation, deal with matters of the past accordingly, so that the people who were disadvantaged, who were actually the victims of such, can also begin now to have a process of healing. And as much as those who were culprits also can actually get their punishment accordingly. So the process is such. Hence, you can't enforce such a process now while you could not do it then. But now, in the case of the Constitution, the amiss is the property right or rights are put in an order that it gives, moreover, the landlord and moreover the landowner more power, that even if the land was stolen, even if the land was stolen, even if the land was taken by demising means, and now we are trying to take it back, and political parties are using slogans of taking the land back, so that they can actually moreover narrate a scenario that is more, I would say, understandable by Africans. But the problem is, when it comes to the rule of law and the property law and rights, you cannot take any land without compensation. The truth be told. But now what needed to be done was for us to go back and revisit the repealed, because the law can be revisited. Matters not how long it takes. Even after 100 years, the law still stands, and moreover to be as focal and moreover as resonant as it could be, as in when it was 300 years ago. So in 1930, when the land was moreover removed and given to the Department of Land Affairs, so they can take care of it and actually administrate it on behalf even of what? Of a black nation. Then it was done so. And in that way, it was enforced in many ways in order to make sure that a particular ethnicity will take on the land and rule over the other. So that came to that point. Hence now, even when the land was stolen and you are calling out for no compensation, it shall not operate. Now, hence you saw what happened in the parliament. So the reason I'm talking about this is that I'm not even demising what presidents and also parties are enforcing. I always say that any political party that speaks land, period, they are speaking the language. Any political party, whether we agree or we don't agree, when they start speaking and touching land, they are in politics. You can't talk about other things. They are in politics. They are fighting for the people. But the amiss and the problem is when we miss the language of law. Once we miss the language of law, then we are actually now deceiving our people in order to know the truth, because the truth is there is law that pertains property, so, and its rights. So now we need to make an assurance that we say it well. So the government of Ecoforum, it's standing with its economic plan. We are standing out as we are moreover preparing for the national government election 2024, and also as we are standing out for partnership with the public, and moreover with local men and local women. And ours is to stand out and speak the truth as it is. Because when you speak the truth in the politics of South Africa, you might not be the favorite. But now we are committed to speak the truth. And we believe that the truth shall set people free, no matter how long it takes. Now, when it comes to land, ours is land restitution and diplomacy. What do we mean? When we restitute, we restore, we are actually enforcing restoration. And when restoration is being enforced in a nation, you need to understand that when you restore a thing, you don't get the same amount or quantity. When you're restoring a thing, you get it in a greater quantity, and moreover in a greater quality. And you also make an assurance that you get it in a greater kind. So you want to get the same thing, but it must be much beyond the quality, because it is now being revived and restored and reformed. So what does that mean? When we talk land restoration, we mean that now we are not going to talk about land in the 1970 and 71. We're not going to talk land in the 1996 of the Constitution. We are going to talk land as far as 1913 of the Constitution. And we are going to bring life to the very dead, moreover, I would say now, an act that is being repealed by the apartheid regime, that actually now took away the rights of the people in muchly getting their land back. And they made an assurance that they take God to protect, meaning the minority, so that the majority can be left as they ought. Because now, even if you can say, let's do it with compensation, then they know that there are so many of our blacks and coloreds and Indians and even the whites that can't afford even to buy a stand. They can't even afford to buy a plot. Neither can they afford to buy any commercial land. Now, if you are saying black people, all of them in general, and also including the coloreds and the Indians and including our white brothers and sisters, if you say to them they must buy, and some of them can't even afford to buy a thing. But what needed to be done in South Africa is that, which is going to be actually executed by this government, we are going to come with all that we have to make an assurance that now we actually now throw it in, so that even the apex court can deal with the matter, constitutionally. That we actually now look at all, derogations that were done from 1913, 1936, 1970, 71, 1989, and what was done in 89 and also in 1993. And all the derogation and every repeal that has been done by those who were in power. Were they done in a good conscience or in good faith, or they were done in order to safeguard their own skin? And now when we find, and a verdict finds that now all these things were done because somebody was saving his skin, then I would moreover stand to enforce, as the government of Ecoforum, that now we are going to moreover resurface. It's going to be a resurface of what? Of the, I would say, of the acts that were repealed, and where there was derogation, we will check with other treaties and moreover with other disciplines, and see to it that even if it goes to the highest court in the world, to make sure that justice is given back to the people. And if this is political, we'll do it like that. Let it be political. But the reason why we're doing it this way is because we have the understanding and we have the background on what has actually transpired. And howsoever, remember, you can't talk land in the absence of the landlords. Who are the true landlords? Who are the chiefs and the kings? Yes, yeah. Now, I always say, now when you deal with the matter, you overlook actually what you believe and what you don't believe. Because when we overlook the chiefs and the kings, and now we are overlooking the landlords. We are not saying kings and chiefs are at a better post, and we know that there are things that needs to be reformed in kingdoms, in royal houses. There's a reformation that is required in regard to their customary laws and what has, what had actually transpired that had put, our people in degradation and regression. We don't support to say, no, take it back just like that. But we are saying they need to be recognized as landlords. Now, how this will be done, we make sure that land is being now recovered back to its people. Now, that is pertaining land. And now I am unfolding the economic plan come 2024 and 2026. This is a plan that I believe that will give, moreover, a resolution to the people. People who are landless, people of Alexandra, people in in Shengovilles, people in Winnie Squares, all the Winnie Squares. We have degraded even our icons and our mothers and fathers, giving names to squatter camps. And now we can't agree to give a name to an airport, but we're giving names to squatter camps. Winnie Square, Winnie Mandela Square. Because why? We have allowed that mediocre to run to as far as even now to make sure that politically, when we are deceiving our people and moving on and getting votes, but doing nothing after the votes, everybody's quiet. Now we're going back to Winnie Square, to all the squatter camps, to say now, these were lies that were spoken forth. Grab land, take land, it doesn't work. You'll be shot, you'll be killed, and you'll be taken away from the excommunicated. Your house that is built there with hundreds of thousands will be taken out by the red ants. I tell you, you're going to lose your money. So now many people, or many African people or South Africans, have lost their monies, hard-earned monies, thousands, because of this immature kind of an act. And we need to fix it, and we don't have to look at popularism. When you are wrong on a thing, we must say you are wrong. You have done it very wrong. So now we are saying, now let there be an approach that is taken right here, right now. The land restitution will run in this form for reformation, to make sure that we don't just restore, but the restoration goes in four folds. We restore land, but moreover, we also make an assurance that now on the very land, the people who were tilling the land before, they will transfer the skills. This was actually, now I would say, attempted by the previous, also the current administrator. But we could not proceed with it more in the terms of when it was President Thabo Mbeki. Now, then what you do therefore, then you actually now look for those who are tilling the ground already. They will pass on what skills. They will give on skills to what? To the people of South Africa. Africans are natural farmers. They will learn to farm and agriculture in their families and so forth. Now then afterwards, then we will actually look for the finances of the land. Now you're giving land for what? For squatter camp. For people to go there and sit there. No. We need land for smart local cities and smart cities and smart locations, and to make sure that now we've got a plan in our localities. We've got good infrastructure. We've got good sewage system. We've got good, you see, it has to be good. We've got good social, I would say, I'll tell you, cohesive kind of grounds, and your stadiums, and where our children, and parks where our children can play. So now we don't want to see what we see in the issue of Alexandra and other places. So now this must be done, and it must not be done politically in 2023 or 24. And the people of this country are being swayed by media, because some are getting more media, and we are just coming on Facebook and some YouTube and Roku and others. And now people who are on media, so I mean on your mainstream medias, SABC and all, they come out there and they talk and they talk. The other 5 years, another 5 years moves like that. So now we are calling out for South Africans to make a decision on this matter. And we are calling out for you to come into partnership with this government, because this is particularly what we need to see happening in our country. So now land restitution is what we do. Number one, you get the people of the land who are tilling the land. Number two, you get the finance resources for the land. Number three, and who are the people of the resources? The land and the agricultural departments. They are there. They must come. Land bank and all of those, they must come and finance so that there can be a move in farming and others. So now, number three, then you make sure that when there is skill transferred, then you know for sure that you are going to have an economy, a growing economy in a country. Whether it is enforced by black and white, it doesn't matter. If we are doing it as a national unity government, then we know that as a country, as a Zania, we are able to can lead, and moreover in Africa and the world, and compete in global economies. So now that is us pertaining the economic plan. The other thing in the economic plan is to check, moreover, the technology of things. Now, the Internet of Things, it's been demonized, and moreover, in my sector where I come from, it's demonized and so forth. But the Internet of Things, I remember in Y2K, remember the 2000, when all of you thought now we are going to die, there's a system or a machine coming that has one eye that is going to kill people. That was muchly ignorance. And there need to be repentance from the church, number one. That was ignorance. How can a computer kill people one eye Sunday? Now, that was the greatest ignorance ever that we have ever found ourselves. And there need to be repentance all over, meaning the spectrum of meaning of religion, however you call it. But there need to be repentance, because that is the greatest ignorance ever. So whether there's a first or second or third or fourth, meaning revolution, we are understanding revolution, but now we know that revolution will not be greater than origin. So now we, as the government of Ecoforum, we're standing for the origin. The origin stands forth to say now creativity and innovation comes from God. The reason why you have cars that are manufactured, and you've got manufacturing of many things, your cell phones, things that you are using today, your automatic washing machine. So now you've got that. You've got your ATMs that works like that. And we are heading somewhere where I believe that now people will have to understand that robots are already there. Robots were there in terms of the ATMs. These are the robots that you have admired. These are the robots that you don't know, an ATM. So robots have been there. So we need to move away from ignorance. And I want to say this to confidence. We need to be partakers of all operation happening in our nation. Is very much particular. We need to partake, and moreover take a stance that even as critical as you become, whether scripturally or doctrinal, you need to realize that now he will not be meaning narrated well if the church, the body of Christ, is not coming to part. You need to stand out. The church of God are the leaders, are the governors. They need to come forth with their governance, because nations of the world, and especially South Africa, waits for you. It awaits for you to come out. So let's come out and partner with a government that is for the people, and make an assurance that now when you partner with us, at the end of the day, we will see that godly governance and see it at its best. Now, we're here to support technology. Our young men and women are automatic autocrats. They don't say it, but they are already automatic autocrats. They understand technology even when they are not yet at the tertiary level. They are taught computers at the kindergarten. Children are being taught even from the grades. So now we need to embrace it. The reasons are, there are some of the things that are done in the natural pertaining, for example, the elections. When the elections are being run and being moreover monitored, adjudicated and monitored by men, by humans. There's so much illegality, so much illegality, so much injustice that will come out of it, because some will be doing it for their own benefit. Now, hence you find there are so many parties that work and they work tirelessly, but the results are not actually equivalent to the load or the work that has been put out there. Why? Because when you look at what is happening, is that somebody knows how to manipulate the system. So now we are calling out to say, even in the next elections, let the IEC begin to now adhere to the call of electronic, or the call of us voting online, voting electronically. And now that is muchly important, not only for us, but for the people on the ground. Imagine people who vote and they know that their votes are being stolen. We can't keep on there. So the government of Ecoforum will be standing in a fight and will be muchly, and now will be sending forth in this coming month. We are releasing a letter, which is moreover, I would say, that will be muchly releasing those allegations to say the IEC must look at this with a microscopic kind of a look. And we need to make an assurance that we are not going to find ourselves on the very same position where we are standing as law-abiding citizens. But by so doing, those who are illicit are the ones who are actually now being paid very well in terms of being given the good results. But when you do a right thing, it doesn't pay in South Africa. So you must be a thief, you must steal, you must be corrupt so that you can be heard. So we are going to ask IEC, as we are approaching the 2024 national general elections, to look at how the mechanism of our elections, and if there be so, we change on how we vote, and we vote electronically so that everyone can get a chance and vote for their own leaders in the next coming elections. And the government of Ecoforum will be working on that and making an assurance that we are going to be in pillar to post to make sure that this actually is executed well. So that is us in technology. And I think it's going to help us, and we are also believing that it's going to help this country. Now, that's under economic plan, and which goes with many things. One of the things is we have introduced one family, one garden, and we are moreover encouraging South Africans to take on in regard to take on in regard to farming. And we start this farming at a local level to make sure that every family, they are being reinstated back and into farming, and they do farming accordingly so that they can be able to feed their families. We have started with that process, and we are also continuing that we are coming to every region. We'll be in every region, in all the 56 regions that are in South Africa. We'll be coming over there to make sure that people are starting to do their own farming, and moreover, make sure that they actually now run a kind of a family agriculture that can feed them, their children, and their loved ones. Now, let me come down to this matter. We are looking forward to this national general elections 2024. And I want to be thankful right now to all our regional chairs. Every regional chair that is out there is critical in how the government of Ecoforum actually builds. So in all 56 regions, we actually have begun to now endorse regional chairpersons that will be taking heed and care of all the wards in the very particular region. And in all the 56, we trust that now 4,468 wards, even more, will definitely come on board and be part of meaning the structural formation for 2024. So all our ward councillors and ward chairpersons will therefore be given a task to build their actually wards. We are actually calling out for 100 plus 1. We have worked with 50, 100 plus 1. That is localizing South Africa 2024. 100 plus 1 will be a kind of a mechanism in however we want to reach out to the people. Every ward out there, if you are out there partnering with this government, you begin and you work in that branch, in that branches, and every ward must produce, as it was actually allocated, more than 10 branches. And in a ward of 10 branches, we'll be having 100 plus 1 in a branch. But a branch will be qualified at 50 plus 1. And you are the one that we're talking about as a leader, and 50 membership that has come through. And now you can proceed to 100 plus 1 because we are looking for an exceptional leadership, especially at the local level, that has the heart for its people. And if they can perform at the branch level, they can also be part of the national listing. Now I want to put this here quickly. The national list will not be only consisting of the NEC, but the national list will be consisting of all the confidence that put their hard work on the ground and that actually build the structures of the movement and make sure that this kingdom political movement is stabilized. Now, then every one of you will be rewarded and awarded when the names that will be asked by, by your YP, the youth president and the others. When they get to us of those names, we know that will be muchly putting names of people that knows how to work the ground. So you are not going to be in a national structure because you are an NEC and you are in the provincial and you are drinking tea and coffee and talking too much and talking politics. No. Now, you are going to be there because you are a man and a woman that seeks to see change. So we'll take ordinary people from ordinary branches. They deserve to be in parliament and stand for the people. So this government will do that. And one thing about the government of Ecoforum, when you win a seat, we don't have a heart to kill you or to sabotage you like I've seen other parties do. They are doing it now, man. They are doing it here. They are doing it to many. Why? Because yes, they are sending people letters, you must resign, you must resign. We don't do that. But what we do, we believe that now you will stand in integrity and exhume or over-execute the mandate given by this government. That's what we're looking at. So now each and every confidant is actually, particularly is important to the move. Now, that will be the process from the local level, your branches, with a 50 plus, which is, we are going to endorse at 50 plus and give a certificate at 100 plus 1. Now, those are the wards. And the branches. The wards will be consisting of 10 branches, which is 100 times 10. 10 branches. So we need 1,000 plus members that are in that ward. So we need to work. It's about working to make sure that the ward works. Now in the region, if the region has 26 wards, you are going to work throughout the region. In every ward, make sure we raise chairs in those wards. That will be led by you, particularly as a regional chairperson. And then all of them will definitely be qualified accordingly. Now, from the region to the province, now I'm going to come here now. And all the provincial structures, which are 9 provincial structures in South Africa. We're calling out for Gauteng. We're calling out for Western Cape, Northwest. We're calling out for Limpopo. We're calling out for Mpumalanga. We're calling out for Eastern Cape. We're calling out for Northern Cape. We're calling out for KwaZulu-Natal or KZN. And we're calling for Free State. So all the 9 structures, because we would be contesting in all 9 provinces, and we'll be contesting nationally as a movement in 9 of them. So our provincial structures would be as watertight as they could be, to make sure that all our provincial chairs are running a program that is more, I would say, efficient, and moreover, I would say, because we'll be running a campaign of development from 2022 towards, we began in 2021 towards 2024, 26, and 31. So we will be running a campaign of development, making sure that we develop our local men and local women. And that is how we are going to get into partnership with them. Let me give you this as a scenario. At the ward level, you're going to use what we call the Ward Super 7 or the Ward Formation 12. The Ward Formation 12 is you with the others that comes under the leadership. You as a chair, the deputy, and the other 10. And the 7 is the what? The executive. Not the other 5, the additional executive. The Ward Formation 12. It works all the way. Branches, wards, region, province, 12. We don't do 6 here. We don't do top 6. We do top 7. We do top 7. So now we are a kingdom. We are a kingdom movement. We do top 7. Now this is how it moves. In our top 7, we make sure we infuse that completion. So now this is how it's going to be. From the branch to all the structures is 12, 12, 12. 7 executive, 5 additional members. Now then you've got your 12. Now then you come to the Ward Super 7, how you build your communities, the Ward Super 7. It is going to be you as a chair, and the chair is surrounded by the other structures, by the schools. You go to the schools, you have partnership, you get moreover education there, you take education, you receive it. You go to the church, they give you theology or any other spirituality, you also do the same. You go to the government, they give you protocol and order and how things are done in South Africa, and you do the same. You go to business, you get the funds, bring it back, you do the same. You open business to them. So in the location where you are, that's what you do. You go to the civil servant or society, you go to them, you get membership, they do the same, vice versa relationship. So as a chair, you are a chair there you are like a chamber, and you are bringing what? You are bringing hope in that community. So to the schools, you are speaking education. How can you assist them with bringing books and making sure they get this and that? The church, the same thing. They must get land. They must get this. We need a pastor practitioner bill. We need the church to be self-standing. We need the church to be self-sufficient, something like that, and to be recognized like that. And you speak that language. And to the government, the same thing. The government must be incorruptible. Administration, service delivery, business. We need business in the land. The business must give back to the community. And you work with the 7 and the 6. So that is called, moreover, the Ward Super 7. Then you make sure you build your branches and wards in such a way. Now, let me take this further so that I close it for you. Now, then Then when we get up to 2024, first, number one, the list of the National Assembly will be taken, or will be moreover, we are going to agree. I am going to agree on names of people who are committed to the cause. We don't have to be 100, even if we can be 5 or 10, but as long as we have people who are committed and we are working on a certain target that we need 7 chairs or 10 chairs or 3 chairs, or we're looking for 2 chairs. So we want to see, moreover, I would say, commitment from confidence all over, the provinces. So it's not going to be a weight of whether somebody is a secretary general. That's how it went, and people are sitting there drinking coffee and talking a lot of things, and not even what we are talking about. Talking a lot of things. Can't even win a soul. Can't even write a membership. But they've got the guts to talk about many things. Many things. Many things. So now we are not going to be there. We are going to actually go with people who would say, President, I'm committed to take on Northwest. I'm committed to take on First State. I'm committed to take on KZN. I'm here in Limpopo. Count me in Gauteng. And we're going to support those confidence to the point that they see the results also in the province. That if they are not in parliament, they are in the province. So we're going to be in the provincial structures and moreover again in the parliamentary structure. But the list that will be taken will be moreover list of people that showcase that commitment in order to make sure that we bring confidence that are committed, incorruptible, that really are looking towards serving the people of the Republic. Now, our political plan in that manner is to make sure that we are bringing us from one seat to infinite, because that is actually dependent on him who's above. From one seat to infinite, we'll give the numbers very soon. We are looking for that seat in the parliament, and we're going to get that seat in the parliament. We're going to get those seats in the parliament, and we are getting in there to make sure that we become part of the administration. Remember, for us, it's not even about getting there to get a salary, getting there to try to get a status. No. We have been president when we were young. So presidency doesn't actually, it's not a syndrome. Leadership is not a syndrome in us, to us. To say, no, we are not presidential syndrome. No, we are in leadership, and we want to see the kind of leadership that South Africa is looking at and executing its governance accordingly. So now the National General Election 2024 has begun. We're talking to Northwest. Northwest is on fire. We're talking to Limpopo. Limpopo is on fire. They say, President, we needed to be here. Come here, right now. But we understand that now we are also in these times where people want to be with their families. But hence we are bringing the message to your house to say, you need to prepare yourself. Look back. Yes, all of us are broken. You are not the only one who's broken. I voted. My vote was not counted. I voted. Not talking about anybody. I voted. My vote was not counted by IEC. So IEC knows that where I voted, there's 0. So what does it mean? So I'm broken more than you can be broken. And as I say that now, we all get broken because we are human beings. But after that, we understand that we are called and need us to now pick up every piece. This is not a work for babes. It is for leaders that are determined and that are committed. Can I say this? In a movement like the Ecoforum government, whereby your narrative is not being paid by business and others, you need to grow strength and you need to stand with us. That's why we ask all of you for your what? Your commitment, physically, financially, and otherwise. Because That's what must be done in order to make sure that we keep the narrative and we keep what we are talking about. So now the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which is the last thing, is Business Ecoforum Southern Africa, which was launched in 2020. And the idea was to make sure in 2019, that was to make sure that we are actually having relationships with business. So we call it BESA, BESA. It's Business Ecoforum Southern Africa. So now we wanted to make an assurance that at any case, we are in a position to can speak to business and for business to hear us and hear our language, especially in any position or sector of operation. And we know that we also speak business in enhancing the GDP of this nation and make sure that we are relevant in what we are talking about. Now, these are the things that we have put in place, and we believe that we are going to be functional in terms of all the sectors in this country. And to make sure that also we are able to can also bring income to this movement, that it becomes sufficient, and now so we are able to can move at a speed that we should move in. Now, one thing being put into place is that now I'm announcing today, as to closure, we are announcing Business Ecoforum Southern Africa, which will is having much of sectors under it. Now, one of the things that we have discovered, which is going to be more of a benefit to our people. As a president of this movement, I never had even this kind of a society, never even thought about, I never wanted to, because I thought preaching life is what we need to preach. But I came to understand that now there are certain things that needs to be prepared for other people. Now, there are many people that we could not help out there, because when tragedy came, it came when we're not actually ready. But I'm going to bring this to you now, and I want you to understand, we are introducing what we call Azania Life Cover. Now, this Azania Life Cover is not only for this movement, but it will moreover cover everyone in South Africa. Azania Life Cover. I'm going to give you certain food for thoughts, because it's important for you to understand. Now, this life cover will be moreover dealing with matters. We are going to extrapolate where it talks education. You know, when your children get to finish school, they get something. They go to business, or they go to school or university. Then we go even in funeral, because we know that yes, through Moses, some will see the glory. They might they might die, or they would die, but through Elijah, some might not die. But now we are saying the more you don't die is the more we know that you have given us a lifeline in order to continue what we must continue. But we know when time of tragedy come, anywhere across South Africa, meaning in any house of a confidant, we are able to come down with the Zania and make sure that we contribute accordingly, and so that even the children in the very house can muchly continue with their lives accordingly. It's very much important. It sounds as if no, it happens on soccer, clubs and others, but I can tell you it's important, especially when we are giving people to lead. We need to make sure that the same people that we are leading, they are also being taken care of accordingly. Now, in closure, so Business Ecoforum Southern Africa introduces Azania Life Cover. We are introducing Azania Life Cover to all of you, that you need to know that we are committed to build this movement. And however, life and death is in the hands of the Lord. We are not even declaring anything. We are speaking life by day. But now, the very important thing that needs to be adhered is that we need to be prepared to help our people. In times of tragedy, we shouldn't come with empathy, but we should come and bless them and make sure their children are being taken care of. It's very much important. To me, my family, it's very much important to all of you. And I feel like that will be a failure if our elders do pass. Some of them don't even have just a decent funeral. Neither do they have money for food afterwards. So this government must make sure we are taking care of those things. So now Azania Life Cover will be dealing with the funeral covers and all that. That's part of business. And I'm announcing it to say, let us be ready. Come forward and support what this government is doing so that you can fitly be financially efficient and be able to do what needs to be done. I mean, the covers that we're talking about, they are at 50 Rand to, I mean, the most that I've seen that is expensive is like 100 Rand. So as for me, talking to you as the people, because you negotiate 50 Rand to 100 Rand for a life cover or a funeral cover, I found it to be something that can operate well for you and your loved ones and even your extended families. So we welcome you to come on board. And now after this press conference, it's a business call for each and every confidant. Now, so that we can assist you accordingly. We can stand with you in assistance of the work that you are doing, so that we remember you even when days are not actually bright. That this government can stand and release a check to you. So we ask for you to come on board, your names, your IDs, your everything that we have, but we need you to now give us a permission, and let's start with those policies as soon as yesterday. So now they are already being announced and they're already on, and then you are welcome to join in and be part of this and communicate as in today on your WhatsApps all over and throughout the country and in the diaspora. And even those on Facebook, talk like you are talking. Don't try to be informal. Talk and say, what can we do? Where do we put the money? What do we do? We are going to utilize the same account that we use. Will be audited to make sure we get our money and we pay for our subscription. And I can tell you, I'm so excited because the 50 Rand is what anyone can afford. And the 100 Rand is for those who want it more bigger and a different kind of a provision. So that one, it's a decision. But to all of us, 50 Rand, we can actually contribute. And that is what we need from you, to stand and contribute. The first thing, go pay for your membership, pay that 50 Rand, and pay again for your 50 Rand of Azania, of your funeral cover for you. And you can start now, ask on how can you also pay for your family. Then we'll take it from there. And I am so excited to share with you business, which I believe is going to be of use, and moreover, it's going to be important to the people of South Africa. And now, as to closure, I want to say to you now, the government of Ecoforum is determined. We're going to do in all our powers. We're going to make sure that in all our powers that we are online as we should and communicate to you at all times. Allow us to come on Kairos TV. Allow us to speak through Kairos TV. We want to see Kairos TV also coming out there, hitting out with 8 million people. Hit them hard so people can start also coming on board and hear when we speak live, because it won't be the mainstream that has live to say. So now we're standing out as a government of Ecoforum that to say the National General Election 2024, it's underway. We are muchly now busy with it, and we are waiting for your commitment to come on board. And now I need each and every confidant to call for duty. Call for duty as in this Monday. Tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow, call for duty. And those who would take care of the provinces and those who are busy in the provinces, call in for duty. We are going to work and we are going to campaign through development. We are going to work the water of Hammaskral. We got a solution. We got a company. We got a nation that is going to assist us to assist Hammaskral. We are not going to talk about it. We are going to assist them. I spoke about it, that is political, what people are talking about. We are going to assist the situation of Hammaskral. I personally know the water of Hammaskral. I don't just talk politically. and talk nonsensical. I talk about it because I know how it affects you. I know how the sewage affects the lungs of the people. So the government of Ecoforum is working hand in hand with the South African Human Rights Commission and the other, meaning also treaties that are there. So we are going to work on the matters of Hammanskraal. We are not going to politicize it. We're going to make sure that people get the water. I tell you, even on Sunday, on Tuesday, somebody was throwing water from a truck in South Africa in 2021. Can you imagine, while people are sitting in Sandton and people are talking as they rhetorically so? So I saw my own people throwing water from the trucks. It's not a joke. While they voted, why are you voting? So we need to change in how we vote so that we can bring the change. So this is much important and this is imperative. So I am putting it out there so that we can understand we are going to do that. Development is going to be done. Agriculture will also be permeated to make sure that the people do their own food. And we are going to stand against also the ways in how the IEC does matters and make sure that we rally after technology that needs to be brought on board for voting. And we're going to stand moreover for land and make sure that when we talk land restitution, it becomes a real matter. It becomes a tangible matter, something we can take into the court and the highest court in the on the land or the apex, yes, and also even the ICC, and make sure that someone is accountable, but to make sure that the people of South Africa are having land either way, equally so, being distributed, so that at the end of the day, there is an inclusive economy in the land of Azania. So now I'm standing out to say to all of you, Aman, hallelujah. So now that's what we need to see happening. So the government of Ecoforum is muchly committed. And I want to invite all of you confidence to say, we are looking forward and we want to make sure that come, NGE 2024, we are prepared and we are muchly, matching, and we are in one accord, in singleness of hearts, and we need those seats in the parliament, we need those seats in the province, because we need to lay an altar and make sure that our provincials are become a place of God. We are taking South Africa back to God. Now let me declare this. Our political plan is simple. South Africa back to God. It's simple. It's not intelligent. It's simple. SA back to God. I want to say to you now, may God bless you. May you have a great coming new year. And as I closure, I want to say to you all, happy, 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 happy belated Christmas, and moreover, a prosperous coming new year of the 2022 and beyond. And may the good Lord bless you. From the government of Ecoforum, you are equally blessed. And may the spirit of immortality be upon each and every one of you. God keep you, and God give you life and provide for you and your families. And may God bless you. God bless the government of Ecoforum, and God bless Azania.